Before we start, I want to remind you that on July 13th, the 84 Hug Challenge starts. Find the link in the show notes. Welcome to Everyday Motherhood, the podcast that inspires you to pause, connect, and play more every single day. The podcast that's focused on you, the mom, to help you fill up your cup and rediscover the joy and love in your everyday life. We can't parent alone, and parenting is too serious to be serious all the time. Thanks for being here. My name is Christy Thomas. I am the founder and developer of PlayForLifeMoms.com. Let's jump in. I am recording this in July, right before this comes out. It's actually Thursday night, because I polled you and I asked what you needed. And you're in the same boat as me. You're feeling topsy-turvy, you're exhausted, you're tired, you're not sure what news to believe, not sure what news to trust. You're not sleeping well, you've probably overate. I've had really interesting conversations this past week with my friends about how they're coping and how life is doing as things reopen, or maybe they're not reopening, or you're associated with a group like the military who wants you to stay socially distanced longer for the greater good. Okay, so we're weary, and you asked me for some emergency self-care tips. So I'm going to be giving you 5 self-care tips for this unusual roller coaster, because it's still happening. So the first thing to do for self-care is we need to talk about that your feelings are valid and real, and whatever they are, we need to just name them and notice them. Not try to change them, just name them and notice them and let them float around like they're clouds in your sky. There's nothing I can say that will cure any of the things you're feeling, besides maybe normalize that I've got a lot of feelings floating around me, and they change pretty consistently during the day. If I'm scrolling through social media or talking to a friend or family member, then the feelings change. But I try to stay on the hopeful side. The emergency self-care plan I'm going to bring to you is 5 steps, and it's developed by Elaine Rinfret. She's a PhD and a licensed clinical social worker, and I don't want to take credit for her work. I am not a therapist, and I'm just a friend and a good internet searcher. So I want to give credit for these 5 steps in this game plan where credit is due. And here's some emergency self-care. Step 1. I need you to make a list of what will help you relax. What can you do when you're upset that's good for you? Maybe it's deep breathing. Maybe it's listening to music, watching a funny TV show or YouTube videos of cats jumping from cucumbers. Maybe it's reading, calling a friend, running, stretching. I really like laying on this bed of nails mat that I have. And what do you like to do? The second part of this is, what do you like to do when you're in a good mood? So when you're naturally in a good space, like think back to 2018 you. On a good day, what did you do? I really did a lot of Sudoku then, and I did a lot of chalk pastels, and I sent a lot of letters in the mail. So 2018 me left clues of what I like to do when things are going good. Think about things that help you throughout your day. We're still in this brainstorming list, okay? I just want to have you collect all the things that you can possibly think of. And if you're in a spot that you can't think of the things that will help you get through the day better, like avoiding coffee or making sure that you have a protein snack, drinking water, trying to do squats every time you go potty, I don't know. It's pretty simple, but I know that when I've been in hard places, on bad mornings when I wake up, I can't think of those things. So right now we're just trying to brainstorm together. And I will put all of my answers to these things in a PDF that you can find in the show notes. So step 2 is to make a list of people you can contact if you need support or distraction. So if you're having a bad day, who can you text and ask for a prayer? Who can you send a GIF to and you know they're going to send you back a funny, inappropriate meme? Who can you talk to? That's step 2. Make a list of your go-to people. Maybe it's friends, siblings, your parents, grandparents if you're lucky, people from church, a neighbor. It doesn't have to be someone you're necessarily close with. I think it could just be the person you know who is a comedian in your life. Who would you want to call if you were feeling anxious? Who would you want to call if you're feeling super lonely? Who would you call if you just needed someone to have company with? Who would you call if you just needed someone to listen? Who will encourage you to just relax and have some fun? Who will remind you to take care of yourself? I hope that with those questions, you can think of different people that you could call or text. Maybe you don't even know them. We're in this crazy internet world, right? Maybe some of the people that popped into your head are Instagram friends, and that's okay. That's valid. You can reach out to them and they can send you voice message and video clips. I think I'm someone people reach out to when they know they need to add more fun and that you're just a complicated houseplant and you need water, sun, and movement. If you're having a really, really hard time though, here's what I need you to know. I need you to know that you can text 741741, and that's the crisis text line. And it's a 24/7 number in the United States, and they will move you from a hot moment to a cool, calm to stay safe. Okay, they are great active listeners. I actually texted the number just to do a trial because I only want to refer you to places that I think are amazing. So if you're having a really hard time, you can always text 741741, and they're there for anything: anxiety, depression, suicide, bullying. They have the resources. So step 1, let's recap. Step 1 was to make a list of all the things that feel good to you or things that you know you should avoid, like coffee at 3 p.m. Okay? Make a list of resources. Think back about what felt great when you were having a great moment. Step 2 was to brainstorm all the people that you could potentially call or text or Instagram or tweet, right? Lots of people in your life that would love to help you because they love you. So you have to give them a chance. Now, step 3 is I want you to make a list of positive things to say to yourself when you're having a hard time. In fact, I put these sticky notes all over my house. If you ever come visit, my bathroom is full of sticky notes around my mirror, and there's a sticky note in the car, and my cell phone has alarms that go off. So these things are just things that I work on. Like one of my favorites about my kids, but it applies to us too, is that I'm not trying to give someone a hard time. I'm just having a hard time. I'm not trying to give someone a hard time. I'm just having a hard time. And when you realize that you're just having a hard time, then you can take a step back, okay? You can know that this too will pass. That this moment is tough, but I'm tougher. And basically every guided Breathe With Me episode has an affirmation for you in it. Like with each breath, I return to my body. I'm safe here. So use the words. Try those Breathe With Me Tuesdays. It seems silly until you try it. So give it a chance. Step 4 of the emergency self-care process is to know what to avoid. It probably means turning your phone onto Do Not Disturb and making sure only your VIP contacts can get through to you. It might mean that you need to take a full 24-hour Sabbath off of social media, off the internet. I hope you have a landline still. It might mean that you can't talk to certain people for a while, or that you unfollow some people or mute some people. It might mean that you don't turn on the news when you're driving, but instead listen to your kids' favorite music. It also means that you might want to set a standard that you have to be dressed to have lunch, or that you're going to be out of bed by a certain time, no matter what, no matter how poor the sleep was. This step 4 is kind of like your bumpers. So it's important to know what standards you're going to keep that will help you moving along so you don't get too far out of your lane, right? That's what bowling is amazing when you're watching kids bowl. Like they hit the bumpers back and forth, back and forth. And that's kind of what I feel like right now with all the emotions around me. I'm kind of zigging and zagging through different feelings. And I thought I would be done by now. But as things are opening back up and my family can't participate, I feel all sorts of peer pressure about that. And I'm zigging and zagging. So I need to make sure that I do my run before like 10 a.m., my daily run. And I need to make sure I change. I noticed we had some repair work done and I stayed in my exercise clothes longer because I didn't make time to change before the repair guys got here. Yikes. Totally changed the whole flow of my day by not getting dressed out of these running clothes. Hold yourself to a kind, gentle standard. You've made a good list of things right now. You have a list of things that make you feel good. You have a list of things that you normally like to do when life is normal on a good day. You have a list of people that you know when to call or who to call if you're feeling lonely or anxious or depressed, or just need companionship or a pep talk. You have a list of phrases that you can listen to, or you have like 24 Breathe With Me episodes that you can listen to. And now for step 4, you've made a list of who and what to avoid when you're having a hard time. So what do you do with all this information? You put it onto an index card so you can carry it around so it's not forgotten and lost. You can put it as a note in your phone, and then it's a living, breathing document, and you can keep adding to it, and you can keep checking it. So when you notice the clouds around you, the different weather that's stirring you up, you can feel the change, right? You can look at your list, look at your index card. Maybe you tape it up in your bathroom or your master bedroom closet, and you have a personalized game plan. I'm so proud of you. I want you to know that you don't have to just go through life. You can grow through life. That's one of my core beliefs, that you're always learning and growing and changing. It's so fun to change your mind when you learn something new. Okay, maybe it's not fun. It's hard work. Well, the whole episode was self-care. So let me give you a family play idea. And I want you to watch a really fun movie. Make some fun snacks. My family is going to go Hamilton crazy here on July 3rd today when this episode comes out. My friends and I have been networking and talking about colonial foods we can eat while we watch. We'll all be in our separate homes, but it's been a fun project. I'm going to make some hoe cakes or Johnny cakes, which are cornbread, and I'm going to give a hand to make cantaloupe soup. And there's a fancy dessert, but I turned off my phone and I don't want to turn it on to check what it is. Well, you're amazing. So plan a movie night with your family and go all in. Make it a themed activity with fancy foods. Maybe your kids are little and you'll watch Cars or Ratatouille. We had such a fun Ratatouille night when my kids were little, and I made Ratatouille and we made the special foods. We always do this with Charlie Brown around Thanksgiving, and we have Charlie Brown Thanksgiving with pretzels and popcorn and jelly beans and toast. It's an honor to make memories and have fun with your kids. I think you are the right mom for your kids. In fact, I know it. And it's okay to let down your hair and have fun with them. I want to live in a world where laughter is heard every single day and where moms smile more than they groan. You impress me. Don't forget that there is a hug challenge coming July 13th. 84 hugs in 7 days. The link is in the show notes. Okay, I'll see you next time.